This is a Swede Speaks.
It's Friday, and that means that it's time for This Week in Sweden. So, let's get started with that. Last Friday, June 22nd, 2018, in Malmö, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden. Malmö police area today has about 800 police officers. Researchers at Malmö University says that to stop the shootings in Malmö, an additional 4,000 police officers are needed. The Malmö police are more pessimistic, and Mattias Sigfridsson, assistant police area director, says that 7,200 more police officers are required. These police officers would be required to follow 200 gang members in Malmö. In Skarpnäck, in the south of Stockholm, at 11:30 a.m., police was called to Skarpnäck. A car with at least 2 people in it had been shot at. Reportedly, a person on the street fired at the car. The passengers ran away from the car and called the police. It was reported that the car will be towed from the location for a technical investigation. Anders Bryngelsson, police press spokesperson, said that the police have 1 or more suspects and that a preliminary investigation has been opened regarding attempted murder and severe gun crime. In Kristianstad, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden, at 5:43 a.m., the police received an alarm about a shooting on Albogatan, a street in Kristianstad. A man in his 20s had been brought to hospital in a private individual's car. The wounded man had severe but not life-threatening injuries. The police calls the shooting attempted murder and says that the shooting has local connections. On Friday, there were no suspects and nobody was arrested. Former elite athlete Isabelle Eriksson and Johan Westerholm published an article on Westerholm's site ledarsidorna.se about IOGT-NTO, a Swedish temperance movement, and the Swedish brand of IOGT International, in his Westerholm's internet publication. In that article they claim that IOGT-NTO is turning into a part of the Ibn Rushd sphere. Ibn Rushd is an Islamic adult educational association. Reportedly, IOGT-NTO has participated in the Muslim Family Days, organized by Ibn Rushd, the foundation of the Islamic Association in Sweden and Sweden's Young Muslims. The youth organization of IOGT-NTO, Ungdomens Nykterhetsförbund, meaning the Youth Sobriety Association, have participated in the Muslim Family Days. And Isabelle Eriksson, one of the writers of this article, questioned whether participating in this event was in accordance with the parole of the Youth Sobriety Association. That parole is a solidaric and democratic world free of drugs and violence. Several of the speakers at the Muslim Family Days have been proponents of Sharia and Jihad. After Isabelle Eriksson questioned this, the Secretary General of the Youth Sobriety Association, Samuel Somo, tried to get her fired from her job by calling her employer. On Saturday, June 23rd, old Swedish 100 and 500 kronor bills will be invalid from June 30th, 2018. Old bills can be returned to the bank. These bills are invalid in Swedish stores already, but can still be returned to the banks to get their old value of 100 and 500 Swedish kronor from the bank until June 30th. 700 million bills to a total worth of 3.8 billion Swedish kronor, that's roughly $424 million, are missing. After June 30th, the Swedish National Bank will still accept old bills, but they will charge you 100 Swedish kronor, roughly $11 to accept them. In Malmö, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden, during Saturday evening, there was a large police effort right outside of Malmö. At Oxie, close to Malmö, heavily armed police officers were controlling traffic. All cars were stopped and searched. Maja Forstenius at the police control center said that, quote, "It is an ongoing investigation, but there is no danger to the public," close quote. In Märsta, in the province of Uppland, to the north of Stockholm, at 5 a.m. the police received several calls about a shooting. A man in his 30s was wounded and brought to hospital in an ambulance helicopter. Charges have been pressed on attempted murder, alternatively manslaughter. No suspect was arrested yet at 10 p.m. Saturday evening. On Sunday, June 24th, in Lindome, in the province of Halland, to the south of Gothenburg. On Sunday evening, several persons alarmed the police about a suspected shooting right after 10 p.m. The police found out that someone has been test shooting an automatic weapon. In Malmö, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden. During the week ending on Sunday, 4 persons were murdered and another 4 persons were injured by gunshots. The Malmö police is now given reinforcements from the rest of the Swedish police region south and from the National Operative Department. In Halmstad, in the province of Halland, in the southwest of Sweden. During Sunday evening there was a shooting. A man, reportedly in his 20s, was wounded and brought to hospital. The police says that the injuries supposedly are not life-threatening. According to a poll among Swedish businesses, the trust for Jimmy Åkesson, leader of the Sweden Democrats, is growing among Swedish business leaders. In a little more than 2 years, the amount of Swedish business leaders who have a high or a very high level of trust in Jimmy Åkesson increased from 13% to 36%. On Monday, June 25th, in Akalla in Stockholm, at 1:30 a.m. an injured man was found outside. He was brought to hospital and the police opened an investigation regarding severe physical abuse. Bloomberg published a debate article titled, quote, "Now even Swedes are questioning the welfare state," close quote. In the article, its 3 authors, Amanda Billner, Rafaela Lindeberg and Niklas Magnusson, wrote about the closing down of the maternity ward at the hospital in Sollefteå, in the province of Ångermanland, in the northeast of Sweden, and how the nearest alternative to give birth suddenly was 62 miles away. The local midwives then decided to teach expectant parents how to give birth in a car. Let me quote from the article. As an antenatal course for leaner times, it would have been unusual even in a cash-strapped country, let alone in one whose economy is enjoying its longest period of growth in at least 4 decades, and whose finances are flourishing. Sweden is a nation in surplus, and the government has still been raising taxes, with the top marginal rate now reaching 60%. Close quote. According to the article, the influx of more than 600,000 immigrants during the past 5 years, in a country with about 10 million inhabitants, made Swedes question the sustainability of the welfare state. The article also goes on to state some other problems in Sweden during the last few years, such as soaring crime rates, gang violence, complaints about education, and pregnant mothers even being turned away from maternity wards due to a lack of capacity. The article states that the number of people waiting longer than 90 days for an operation or specialist treatment has tripled over the last 4 years. The article also quotes Carl Fredrik Båten, a 43-year-old father in Stockholm currently off work to take care of his baby. Båten said, quote, "I don't trust welfare at all. I need to build my own capital. The problem with immigration is that our welfare state is not quite dimensioned for it. Of course we should help people, and we have a good situation here in Sweden, but we can't handle an unlimited amount of people." Close quote. On Tuesday, June 26th, in Uppsala, in the province of Uppland, to the north of Stockholm. According to a survey among foreign-born 9th-grade girls in Uppsala, 2/3 are not allowed to decide completely on their own who to marry. Among Swedish-born girls with Swedish-born parents, 5% of the girls are not allowed to decide completely on their own who to marry, and among Swedish-born boys with Swedish-born parents, the number is 4%. 40% of Swedish-born boys with foreign-born parents said that they are not allowed to decide completely on their own who to marry. It was reported that about 3,000 illegal aliens living in Sweden, although they have been denied asylum, will no longer have a right to taxpayer-funded healthcare in Sweden. They will be treated as any visitor to the country and only given emergency care, and they will have to pay for it. On Wednesday, June 27th, in Harefjorden, in Säffle, in the province of Värmland, close to the Norwegian border, 2 boats collided at Harefjorden. A larger fishing boat was driving in around 15 to 20 knots and collided with a smaller fishing boat that turned around, ending upside down in the water. The 3 people in the smaller boat were rescued by private individuals who drove out to help them. The 3 persons were brought to hospital and they were reportedly conscious. The 2 persons in the larger boat were reported to be physically unharmed. In Huskvarna, in the province of Småland, in the southeast of Sweden, during the night towards Sweden's National Day, on June 6th, a small Christian group erected 3 small crosses on a hill to go there and pray. These crosses are now being removed. After identifying who put up these crosses, a reporter at the license payer-funded media outlet SVT asked them if they didn't understand that the crosses would provoke people. Interestingly enough, Huskvarna is in a part of Sweden where there is a higher amount of Christians than in most other parts of the country. In Uppsala, in the province of Uppland, to the north of Stockholm, roughly 10 persons ended up in a fight at Uppsala University Hospital. 1 person was stabbed and a man aged about 25 was arrested. Reportedly, some of the involved people were known by the police already. And on Thursday, June 28th, it was reported that the comedian and columnist Özz Nujen, who himself has supposedly paid 80,000 Swedish kroner, that's roughly $9,000 under the table for construction work, to Rakhmat Akilov, who later became the Stockholm terrorist, is going to moderate a debate about people working under the table in the Swedish construction business. The debate is organized by the construction company Veidekke. The Swedish Defense University released a report which said that the number of Islamists willing to use violence tenfolded in Sweden during the last 10 years, from 200 to 2,000 persons. The report also stated that Salafist imams have divided Sweden between them to easier spread their ideas, and that they focus on spreading these ideas to children and youngsters. So those were some of the stories that came out of Sweden during the last 7 days, from Friday to Thursday. As you probably understand, I had to choose some stories over others, otherwise this video would simply be too long. I will return next Friday with another episode of This Week in Sweden. And that's what I have to say about this right now. I would like to thank everyone who supports my work. This is my day job, and if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important and that I should continue doing so, please consider sending me $1 or $2 or 10 or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. Also, like and share my videos, subscribe to this channel, and keep me in your prayers. I wish you all a very nice weekend, and until next time, have a nice day and God bless.